Hi, Core 180. Welcome to week 6 of our class. We'll be halfway done at the end of this week. I'm posting this a little bit early. I am headed out of town tomorrow, Saturday the 21st, to head out to the Black Hills, where I am going to be junior activities counselor at our church Bible camp. Isn't really my deal, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not really an activities person, so I'll keep you posted on that. If you're feeling a little tired, a little overwhelmed, a little exhausted, a little thinking, boy, what did I get myself into? Don't worry, you're not alone. Things are going to slow down here very shortly. After the break, we will be reading 2 big chunks of literature. So we'll spend 3 weeks on Othello. I picked up this one actually just this week at Barnes & Noble. I think my total with tax was $6 and something US dollars. So grab it at Barnes & Noble if that's what you so desire, if you have a copy of it. I'm not so concerned that you use the exact right version, as we aren't reading it together in class. We'll be able to get close and figure out what we're talking about. Generally, the versions are quite similar. I grabbed this one because it does have a modern translation on the other side of the page. You're more than welcome to do that. Our idea is not to make you hate Shakespeare. It's more to enjoy the story and love. This is such a good story, too. So you can grab this one. This is the No Fear Shakespeare. And like I said, I got it at Barnes & Noble for $6. But if you have a copy of an Othello, that should be fine as well. The next one we'll be doing after the break is True Grit. We'll be doing that for the final 3 weeks of our class. This is by Charles Portis. I also got this at Barnes & Noble, and I paid, I think, $13 with tax when I got it. So you can grab that one. Your public library probably has both of these, that if you don't want to go out and buy them. But keep that in mind because you'll need that starting July 7. We'll start with Othello July 7, and then 3 weeks later, you'll need True Grit. You want to get started reading them? Feel free, go right ahead. So this week we begin on the 23rd is Monday. That's when the week officially kicks off. You can get started earlier if you want. This week's a little different because technically starting next Monday, June 30th, is technically our vacation day. We do have stuff due June 30th. Your discussion board is due June 30th. You have a reading questions guide thing we'll talk about. That's due June 30th. If you want to have that full week off, you need to get stuff done ahead of time, but you have up until that Monday, even though we're technically on break that Monday of June 30th. You can still turn stuff in that day. That would be fine. Your paper was originally also due that day, your poetry paper. We've pushed that back to the following week. So if you want to use the week off to work on it, you may. You are not required to use the week off to work on it. That is up to you. I want to give people that option. I know some of you will probably be doing the same thing and you just as soon have something to work on and space things out a little bit. So if you could turn in your poetry paper by July 7, that's Monday, July 7 in the evening, 11:59 p.m. That would be great. If you have questions about that, you're unstuck, let me know. So this week we're talking about creative nonfiction, which is really exciting and it's different and it's going to use your brain completely differently. And if you are not a poetry person, not a short story person, creative nonfiction might be your thing. So basically all it is it's an essay, but they're way more entertaining than a boring old essay. Excuse me. They center around telling a story in order to convey facts. So, for instance, our first piece that we're going to read is by a guy named David Sedaris. It's called 6 to 8 Black Men, and it's about the Dutch tradition of Sinterklaas. And David Sedaris is not Dutch in any way, but he goes to Holland, goes to the Netherlands, and encounters this really weird tradition. And when he really digs into it, he finds out how weird it is. And it is weird. So he's telling the story of his going there and his interactions, but he's also imparting facts about this tradition. And then he draws conclusions about it. The second piece we're going to read is by a woman named Sarah Vowell. You might recognize her voice because she played Violet on The Incredibles. animated movie from, oh boy, a long time ago. You were probably children. I was an adult when that came out. But she was the daughter in The Incredibles. She played the daughter. That's not her real deal, though. Her real deal is she's a writer, and she writes creative nonfiction. That piece is a little bit long. It centers around the Salem witch trials, and it's called God Will Give You Blood in a Souvenir Shot Glass to Drink, which is a takeoff of a quote from one of the women who was killed in the Salem witch trials. There is a reading questions for you to fill out as you go, just to help you, because she does cover a lot of ground and gets into a lot of ideas. So you can fill that out as you go, and then you can just upload that. I have a spot for that, so that'll be an assignment for the week. The third essay you're going to read is by a guy named David Foster Wallace, DFW, as we in the know call him. Not really. He actually committed suicide a couple years ago. He was not very old. There's a movie coming out about his life with Jason Segel playing David Foster Wallace from How I Met Your Mother. So you might come across that in the next month, years to go. So make sure you read that one. That's called Consider the Lobster. It talks about whether lobsters feel pain, and he investigates this at a Maine lobster fair. So read that one. That one is long. You're going to have to click through I think 10 different times to get the whole piece. He is very detailed and meticulous, which is part of his deal. Then you're going to read, or excuse me, you're going to watch a brief video that is the audio of a commencement address that David Foster Wallace gave called This is Water. And then someone has put a video, graphics, and stuff to go along with it to make it into a story. Watch that, and then think just a little bit about it. He is definitely not coming at this idea of the life as a Christian. My husband's standing over there mocking my hand gestures, so I won't use them. But think about what we can take from that as a Christian. There's some really good stuff in there. Some of the stuff doesn't quite work. So think that through. Figure out what you think we can do with that. Fourthly, you're going to read a piece by Peggy Orenstein called What's Wrong with Cinderella, or What's the Problem with Cinderella. Peggy Orenstein has written a lot of things. She is publishing very widely. She's very active on Twitter, so you can follow her. And then there's a video about an interview, a short interview, where she gets into what she calls princess culture. Just a little bit about that. So read that. That's actually a pretty short piece, so that shouldn't take you too long. Then you're going to do a slightly different project that I hope you really like. You're going to find This American Life episode. You probably listened to a little bit a few weeks ago when you read the B.J. Novak stories, because we pulled from This American Life, and also the Tobias Wolff story was done on there. I provided a link. There are hundreds and thousands of episodes. There's been 10 years of episodes, 30, 40 episodes a year. And you can click through, find one that you like. Each episode will be centered on a theme, and then there will be 3 to 5 different pieces on that theme. Each episode's about an hour, slightly less. Pick one you like. Think about how story is being used to tell facts. Sarah Vowell and David Sedaris both got their starts on This American Life, so there's a nice tie-in. You might even find things that they have done on there. And think about how they're putting together that story to share information. Not every piece will be creative nonfiction on there. They do throw in poetry, short stories, and other items, music sometimes. So watch one, and when you're done, you're going to send me an email and talk to me about it. Tell me what one it was, first of all, and then what worked, what was effective, what did you like, what made it difficult to interact with. Was it hard to sit there and listen without any visuals? So talk to me about that. Send me a short email paragraph where you discuss that. And then you will watch a 4-part video there's 4 separate links with Ira Glass, who's in charge of This American Life, talking about how to put stories together for radio. A lot of it's very much about radio or TV specific, but I think there's a lot you can take and translate over into your own writing. So think about that as you watch. How could this change how I write my paper for my science class? How could this change how I write my political science paper? What could I do different? How could I use anecdotes? He'll give you lots of different things to think about in that. Then you're going to do a discussion board, just like normal. And then finally, you need to finish your poetry paper. You should spend several hours this week on that. Once again, if you want to use your break, that's perfectly fine. It's to work on that. And if you are having trouble finding resources for your paper and you feel like you need them, don't hesitate to contact the librarians. They are more than willing to go out into the library shelves, find the article you're looking for, scan it, and email it to you. They have volunteered. They have said that they have plenty of time to do that. So call them, email them if you see that there's something on Dort's shelves that you want, and they could possibly scan and give you. So this week and then the next week will be off. Like I said, I will be in the Black Hills doing activities. So I may have some limited internet access, but feel free to keep emailing me. I will try to be checking regularly. I have your short story papers. I am working on grading them. I'm hoping to get done with those over the next week and get those back to you so you can see those grades. There's a couple other little bits and pieces that I think I'm missing that I'm hoping to get done here shortly. But you shouldn't be worrying about your grades. As of now, no one's having any issues, and everyone's turning the stuff in pretty consistently and doing good work. So once again, have a great week. You can think about me with all the junior children doing activities and hope that I don't fall in the pond or something. And we will see you next week. Have a good one.